but we got the new Olympic trial marathon standards that were released.
Yeah. Yeah, so they changed it up a little bit. Went back to having an A and a B standard. I guess they've been they kind of went away from that for a few years.
What does that mean? The A standard and the B standard.
So the B standard is going to be like kind of the target to hit, right? Like think about it in Boston qualifying terms, right? That's your BQ. The A standard. Now the A standard is going to get, like, if you hit the A standard, you get your, I think, travel and board and everything paid for.
Exactly. Yeah.
But essentially, you hit the A standard, then you're guaranteed entry into the trials.
Oh wow! So the B standard doesn't even get you in?
Well, it's going to be cut off, right? Like it's just like the Boston. It's just like
it depends
Boston
on how
Marathon,
many
right? There's a
hit that
cutoff.
standard. Yeah.
Wow.
So right now we know no change to the women yet so far.
Okay.
Men's was because it used to be 2:18, now it's a 2:16.
2 minutes, yeah.
That's a lot.
Well, because I think, and again, I'll have to look at the statistics. I think it would have, if it was a 2:16 last year or last trials, there would have been like 42 people that didn't make the mark. And that's kind of what their goal is they want to limit the field to the top 200 runners.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And to, like Chase brought it up offline, they did the math and the statistics and figured that this is the amount that they need to adjust it by to get it closer to that 200 mark.
That is, I mean, how do y'all feel about it?
I mean, it's just a sign that the sport, what we've been talking about for the last 2 years, right? The sport's just evolving. I mean, and it's going to continue to evolve. So yeah, like the faster times just mean that men are getting faster.
Yeah.
And the women's, it doesn't mean that the women aren't getting faster. It's just that's what they didn't need to adjust the time to hit their number.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not going to change who the top runners are.
Right.
Your top runners are still going to be your top runners. They still have their, 2:07 or 2:08 minimum, whatever it's going to be to qualify. It's going to change the back end of those qualifiers. And I mean, it does suck for them, I guess, but they have to do what they have to do. Like this needs to be an elitist field.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it. I mean, it's easy for me to say that because I'm not racing it, but I think a lot of people are okay with that.
Yeah, and it's just very, very rare that you're going to see somebody show up that ran a qualifying time of whatever, like 2:17, right, and end up finishing in the top 3, running a PR by like 10 minutes, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's whatever. Like Jake said, it's not going to affect the top runners, the top 3 runners that are going to end up representing the country.
Yeah, because they're getting in with a 2:08, 2:07, 2:07, 2:09, whatever it is already, right? Your top 10 get paid, and your top 10 are going to be unaffected by this.
So my question, I guess, is if there's so many fast runners, why not tighten the times by more?
They don't need to. Like, you still want a field that's watchable. Number one, you still want a crowd to come out and support it. Like, there's money to be made in having 200 runners out there. Mm-hmm. And again, this is an assumption, but I'm assuming the trials are partnered with these big brands, right? Hoka, Nike, whatever. Like, you want them to be able to have their runners in your race too. So you don't want to limit it to where it's 50 people and you're just not going to make the money. Every city that has the trials, I think we talked about this before, the city actually loses money by hosting the trials there. So far, like the last 2 trials, the city of Atlanta and Orlando, the city has actually lost money by hosting the trials. So I'm sure there's compromises or agreements that have to be in place to have X amount of runners, etc.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think of the whole brand situation. But that's cool. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of it has to do with like money and exposure. So.
Yeah. We still don't know where the trials are going to be.
I was going to say, and they have, 2 more years to kind of figure that out?
Yeah, well, the qualifying window starts this September, I think.
Oh, okay.
So
And
you
then
can start qualifying for it.
Okay.
Which opens up CIM, which is in December.
Yeah.
And Chicago, which is in October. But yeah, I don't even know what cities are in the running for it right now. I actually got excited, Chase, because when I read the first article, the city said Indianapolis, Indiana, and then it had the article. Turned out it was just the person writing it.
Yeah, because that's where the NCAA office is located.
I think, is this going to be in Indianapolis? Like, how cool is this for Chase? First,
I mean,
it was
that would be cool.
Orlando for me, and now Chase. Then we just got to get them in Dallas, and we'll be set.
I mean, that would be really cool. Actually, I was really fortunate for a few years. They held in Terre Haute is where they held the national cross country meet for like 10 straight years at the course there in Terre Haute, and it's a big course, but I was able to go up to that a few times, and that was pretty cool.
They need to pick a northern city, man. The last 2 trials have been south, and it's been so warm.
Well, yeah, you kind of warm.
You kind of want to find because it needs to be in the early spring, right? So it's hard to find somewhere that isn't going to be too hot, but is also not going to be crazy weather either.
Well, I remember, so we talked about this before, and we kind of expressed some frustrations when it was in Orlando, and it was at originally it was set for 12 o'clock in the afternoon or something along those lines. The goal of the U.S. Olympic trials is to give our U.S. athletes the best possible chance to run their fastest time to get into the Olympics. Or that should be the goal, anyways. And I feel like we did a disservice to them, specifically last time in Orlando. And then you got Atlanta. That course was not easy. It was a hilly course that they were doing. Like, in an ideal, picture perfect world, we would have a flat, like Indianapolis would honestly be a great city because it's flat. The temperatures are generally cooler up there. You don't have humidity up there. It is a large suburban city. Like, you would still generate a crowd there. Like, you need to have
They're
a
used
place
to
like
having
that.
big crowds too. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see it in
The
Indianapolis.
Indiana Pacers are about to be national basketball champions, so
let's hold our horses here, man. That Oklahoma City squad's pretty good, but I'm sure you're happy to see your boy Halliburton
I'm
in the
really
finals.
Caitlin Clark, Halliburton, like, you got a crew up there, so. Anyway,
it's Indiana, man. That's where basketball is supposed to be.
The Hoosiers. But no, seriously, it would be. I would go up there to watch the trials if that's where they were. Knowing that you're up there, obviously we have friends that we stay with up there. Like, it would be. It's a great time for Indianapolis to have trials. Like, the sports in that city right now are booming. So they just got to get their football team together and.
Well, and they have. In all seriousness, they've created Indianapolis to be an event city. So, that's just what it's become. That's why they just signed a big deal with the WWE. They're going to have a couple big events at Lucas Oil over the next few years. I mean, that's what Indianapolis has just tried to do. We had an All-Star game here last year. Probably have a Super Bowl again here sometime soon. But yeah, Indianapolis has just built themselves to be that, so it would make sense.
Now, what I could see the Federation doing is, because the Olympics are going to be held in Los Angeles, I could see them doing a West Coast trials.
That makes sense.
Yeah. We'll see, though.
Yeah.
I really don't know how that vetting process works for the trials. Like, if there's a bidding situation, or just I'm not sure. I don't know how that works. But my vote, hey, USATF, Olympic Trial Committee, whoever you are, if you're listening, Indianapolis has my vote.
Indianapolis.
Yeah,